Well, good morning, everybody, and it is the first Sunday of November, and I have about 90% of my Thanksgiving Day dinner items purchased. Turkey, hams, times two, because I only buy one spiral cut ham. I've never seen these before. It was a spiral cut ham that that didn't have the bone in it, but it wasn't a water processed ham either. So, and it was just like a little nugget of a ham, you know, like the big one with the ham bone and stuff. So I thought, everybody loves ham. We always have the big 20+ pound turkey, of course, but everybody likes ham too, so I always have both. And I like to send off leftovers with my brother and my son and whoever else. Just a little bit of snack, you know, so they can have a little something. So anyway, I decided yesterday, and I say this every year, and I've been saying this every year for the last 20+ years, that I'm going to get on the stick, I'm going to get ahead of the game, and I'm going to get my stuff done. I did it this year. It's the first time in ever I think that I got all of this stuff done this far in advance, and the next trip that I have to get, I have to wait till closer because it's the fresh produce stuff you have to buy and some odds and ends and stuff, because did I get pretty much everything? I got pretty much everything on my list, but I was kind of running out of cart room. Back in the day when my sons would go grocery shopping with me, they would help load the cart. We'd have 2 carts sometimes. And now it's just me. It's like, ugh, I don't want to mess with it. So I got most of my stuff, so I was quite proud of myself for doing that. And the stores weren't as bad. I've got to have some more coffee. Anyway, the stores weren't as bad. And I forgot to blot my lipstick, so that's all over my coffee cup. I'll be a big old mess by the time we're done. So, you know, you don't have that extra help. And I was lucky my son was home when I got home. And he's like, hey, where do you think you're going to put this turkey and this ham in the freezer? I'm like, oh, what? Because remember about a month or so ago I did all this major shopping. Well, everything is so packed, I did not have room, so we had to do some reconfiguring, take some stuff out. So then I said, well, guess what, we're going to be eating this, that, and the other thing, because we have to get it out of the freezer, have to defrost it, so I got to make something out of it. I guess that's a good motivator to get some of that stuff that's in your freezer that you should be cooking up. You know how you have partial something and you put it in your freezer, and then you put it in your freezer, and you put it in your freezer, and then there it's in your freezer, whatever the thing is you put in there, either purchased leftovers or meat that, you know, you can't eat it all at once, that you'll aliquot or put into small bags and freeze, right? So I said, well, we better get eating because we got to put more stuff in there. So we got that all done. I was so happy. I was so proud of myself. Woohoo! You know, that's like an accomplishment for me. For all the years I say I'm going to do it, and I finally did it. So that's all done. I just feel so organized. You know, it's not like it's got to get in the house, got to get in the house cleaning stuff, because that's one great thing about when you have company over or a holiday or something, it's a big motivator to get that house clean, right? Because I'm not a big house cleaning enthusiast. I do what I need to do, and then I do the big major stuff when I have to do it. So anyway, last weekend was Chicago. It was fantastic, and little did we know when we booked this 9+ months ago that that was going to be the weekend that the Cubs were going to be playing a 3-game series in Chicago at Wrigley Field at the same time that we're there. You know, it was beautiful weather. It was great weather. I mean, you couldn't, for the last weekend of October, you couldn't ask for better weather all the way around. Some overcast, but there's plenty of sunshine and sunny skies too. But the electricity and the feeling in the city was just charged because of these baseball games. And I'm not a big baseball, or I guess any sport, I'll kind of watch a little bit, but I'm not a big follower. I did know that the Cubs were in the World Series, and they haven't been since like 1940 something, and it was a big thing, but I didn't realize that they were playing in Chicago. So the police officers were on full force, and I thought, wow. When we first got there, I didn't realize that, and I thought, there's a lot of police officers. And I thought, this city's on the ball, and they're out watching out for everybody. Well, it's because the police force was like maxed out because of the World Series and everybody in town for that. So, and we were staying at the Congress, and that one evening, what was it? It was Sunday night. They had lost. I think they had lost Thursday and Friday, or Friday and Saturday. They don't win the game on Sunday night, they're out of it, right? So Sunday night, we were sitting in front of the Congress. It was the end of our little vacation. We were just relaxing, having a lovely dinner there at, what was the name of it? It was Rachel's or Raphael's. It was the fancy little restaurant in the Congress, and it was a lovely dinner. We were sitting there, and all of a sudden we see these, and Chicago I've never seen buses this big. They're like accordion in the center of the bus. It's like 2 of our city buses, and the accordion section is so it can give and take, because it was one large bus that long. It couldn't make the corners, and it would probably snap or something because it needs that movement in the bus. So we saw 4 of these huge buses go by full of police officers, and the waitress told us that they were putting on 1,000 people for the game around Wrigley Field. Isn't that nuts? It was just crazy. So we felt uber safe, and that's what we took. We were in town thinking of Uber. We didn't even take taxis. We used Uber drivers the whole time we're there, and boy, was that a money saver. Taxis can be kind of expensive, and you can get it, and I have to get the app for my phone. You know, taxis you call and you might have to wait 10, 15, 20 minutes for them to get there. With the Uber, I mean, it's the person who's closest who picks up on that signal for that call in for a ride, and we always got a ride within 5 minutes. I'm not kidding you, within 5 minutes. And it's a really nice system, and all the people who do it, I mean, it can be your neighbor, it can be you, whoever, you know, they check them all out and stuff, and it's their car and their vehicle. And I've always had a very clean car and very personable, nice people, and you know, they're just you or I just trying to make a few extra dollars for their family, so it's pretty neat. So we took Ubers the whole time we were there. So anyway, that was it was just great. I mean, the energy of that, I was so glad that they won Sunday night. We didn't, if we would have stayed up, I'm sure that it would have been just crazy wild festivities. And then there's also across, where we were in the Congress it's not Millennium Park, it's across from the Congress. What park is that? It's the Fountain, and Lord, I just forgot already. But there's a beautiful large park when you look out from the Congress. It's this huge, gorgeous park with fountains, which are off for the season, of course, and then Lake Michigan right there. We had the best view. We had lake view. It was gorgeous. We could see the city. We saw all the parks. We could see the lake. We could see Navy Pier from our room. We could see Soldier Field, which is south of town. We didn't go touristing up near Wrigley Field because we thought that's going to be congested and crazy and nuts. So we just kind of stayed away from that area and stayed a little bit south, main Chicago, and a little bit north of the river there, and had a great time. And what to do? Well, I'll tell you. And I haven't got any of my videos up except for the Haunted Halloween Ball, which was at the Congress. Was the only video I had time to get up because that was kind of a quick little one. I have a little video. I'll put just together a little video of our night when we went to Weird Chicago Tours, and which is kind of weird. I took a really nice long video of Crystal, our tour guide, explaining the history of Lincoln Park, and that it was built on cemetery ground, and the city needed to make more parks and more room, you know, so they moved the graveyards up, but they didn't get everybody out, so they figured there's quite a few people still buried under Lincoln Park, so that's a really big haunting area. I took a really nice video with her on my phone, and we had watched it, and it is gone. Is that weird? The whole video was gone off my phone. It was such a nice one, and I wanted to post it, of her explaining the whole history of Lincoln Park. But you can Google it too, but just a lot of interesting history, and a lot of massively large bad things have had happen in Chicago. If you go on to WeirdChicagoTours.com, it will explain a little bit of history, what tours they offer, and that's why I love the internet, the Google, and you can Google anything you want, find all this information out. So we got there, and and that was before we took off. They were overbooked or overweight or whatever on the plane because of the wind in Midway Airport. They had to lose 18 passengers. So they were offering vouchers for people if they would waited till the 1 o'clock for $400 a piece. And I tell you, we were so close to doing it, and the last ones got nabbed up. But then we said, if we got that, we were really pushing, because we met Jennifer Drinks at 4 at Fado's, which is an Irish pub, which we absolutely loved, and the bartender, the handsome young bartenders there, all were spoke with an Irish accent. They were from Ireland, I suppose, right? And lovely whiskey cocktails, and we had a really great little visit with Jennifer, and talked to her a little bit because she had to do a private Weird Chicago tour, and we were on the public one with Crystal, and Crystal was just great, and Jennifer said we love her, and we did. Crystal is just full of personality. It was a really fun tour. We where did we go? We went to where the Algonquin Theater was. We went to Lincoln Park. We went to Oh Lord, I can't think of it. It's down, and it used to be an old bakery restaurant, and it had a lot of haunting history. And you think I could pull the file what the name of that place was. That was really neat. And then the Congress Hotel, very informational. Oh, and where the St. Valentine's Day Massacre was. So that was really historically informational, and a lot of good ghost stories too, so we love that. And I think almost every night, except for Saturday night when the haunted Halloween ball was, because we went to bed very fast, if you know what I mean. We had lots of cocktails, so we didn't do any ghost hunting that night. But Thursday, Friday, Sunday night, we did. We went all through the hotel. We were taking pictures. I was taking videos. I didn't pick up. I was so disappointed, and I was like, anything that was open, I snuck in and took a picture of, and some of them just like, oh, it was kind of, they were scary, and some of the things were kind of scary. And there was a door that went up to the roof, and it was open. I'm like, let's do it, because you know that there was a young mother back, she was going to have to, World War II, and she was in America, and she was waiting to get her papers so she could stay, because she knew if she went back to Germany, some province around Germany, that her and her kids were Jewish, they would be killed or tortured or something. Oh, she couldn't even fathom that. She's waiting, and it was the day she was going to have to go back, or the next day it was, and she couldn't live with the horror of what her and her children would go through. So she took herself and her children to the top of the Congress Hotel and drove off the 14th floor and killed themselves. 2 hours after they committed suicide, they got the letter saying they could stay in the United States and they were safe. Oh my God, isn't that sad? And there's been suicides and murders, and Holmes who was the first serial killer in the United States. They figure, they don't have proof, but they just figure from everything that they put together that he probably back in that time, in the early 1900s, killed over 250 people. And the hotel he built was specifically for killing people. So if you ever wanted type into Google America's first serial killer, Holmes, Holmes. Oh, and it's crazy. And where his hotel is, I guess people burnt it down and stuff because it was just murder factory. It was interesting. He built this hotel just for killing people. People pumped in gas, and the stories, I'd be here all day telling you about it, but if you Google it, it's really interesting. So that hotel complex was ripped down. Post office was built in southern Chicago where that site was, but I guess the basement's the original basement, and there's some ghost stories there too. So I was so disappointed. I was hoping to see a glimpse, a shadow or something, and we didn't see anything. And I know a lot of people don't believe in ghosts or paranormal or spirits, or but I certainly do. I have my own little I've had a couple little encounters in my lifetime, and I'll talk about that sometime, but one was with seeing a family member that had passed, and one was seeing a UFO, unidentified flying object, back in the 80s too, so I'll have to do a little chit chat. That's too much for morning coffee. So anyway, we had a great time in Chicago. We were in Chicago, we did a lot of walking around the parks, and Millennial Park, and the great big shiny bean. I think that sculpture's got a name, but I don't know what it is. And then we also took the architecture river tour, which was, oh my gosh, loved it. Went right down the river, right down the heart of Chicago, and explained the buildings and the history and the architecture and the why and when, how everything was, and why is Chicago such a clean city compared to New York. And it was the architecture and how it was all laid out, and it was a very thought out city. It was a very metropolitan, very modern city for its time, even today. Back when they started rebuilding the city after the fires and they started getting into everything, it was very well thought out, way out into the future for future progress and stuff. So Chicago is quite a city. I'll go back. I really enjoyed it. I felt very safe the whole time we're there. We stayed in the I think it was called the Loop area and stuff. Never felt, and you saw some homeless people, and you saw people begging and stuff, but I guess we stayed on the main streets and didn't wander too far off, and went to the theater district, which was really interesting. So we never felt that we weren't safe or scared, but we didn't walk around after dark either. We did all of our walking. We did a lot of walking. Our walking during the day, and then wherever we ended up, we hoofed it. We went miles. Then we'd take a Uber back to the hotel. Ate some lovely meals. Had my Chicago, we never got around having a deep dish Chicago pizza, but ate and drank our way through the city and saw everything that you needed to see that we could see in that time frame. It was really interesting, and had a great time. So like I said, when I get around to it, I'll put it probably, I got the haunted one, and that's just a cute little look at everybody's costumes video. And then also I'll put the video up of us ghost hunting. We didn't find anything, just so you can see the layout, and you're gonna like, oh, I can see why you'd think there might be hauntings or something going on just from the layout and the way everything looks in the hotel and stuff. But we didn't see anything. So I mean, I kind of did a quick, because I took like 700 pictures and little videos. I've looked at the footage and stuff, but haven't really picked it apart either. So hopefully I have missed something, and maybe there's a little something there that I can see. So I'll put that all together, and it's going to probably be a very long and boring video, but at least you'll get to see. And though we didn't get to see any paranormal activity while we were there, we did really find when we were in the North Tower, and that is, I guess, where a lot of the hauntings are, in the North Tower, the 12th, 11th, and I think the 8th floor, 7th floor. We were in all of them. When we were on the 12th floor and looked around, and you know, it is what it is, and you felt the way you felt. And when we went down to the 11th floor, the energy was so much different on the 12th floor. It was heavier. It wasn't as, not fresh feeling, I want to say, but it wasn't the same atmosphere on the 11th floor. The 11th floor seemed so much more, it wasn't hard to breathe. I don't want to say that. More comfortable feeling. When you're on the 12th floor, it seemed like you're a little more, and we went back and forth between the floors several times, and the atmosphere on the 12th floor was much more heavy than on the other floors that we were on, which was interesting. There could be a whole bunch of variables of why that was, but I know it wasn't because we made it that way, because we kind of did a little experiment by going to different floors and back up to that one, and you definitely could feel a difference on that 12th floor, whatever that may be. And then one of the big, huge haunted rooms I told you about, the mother and the boys and stuff, we had asked a handyman, hey, what room was that and where was that? And he goes, well, it's this room right here. I think it was room 411 or 441. I got a picture of it. And he says, the people are gone for the day. If you want, I'll let you take it's not cleaned up. If you want, you can go in and take a quick little peek of the room. So of course we did. Anyways, I got the video, and it saved on my camera. That one didn't get wiped out like the other one. So we did a quick little, and it was a mess from the people, but it was, you could tell that this room compared to like our room, or probably, our room probably isn't, there's probably more grand rooms than we had, was a very small, cramped room. Very dark. I don't think it had an exterior window. And he showed us the closet where apparently the kids were kind of hiding and scared in before, because their mom was all frantic and stuff. But it was just kind of a depressing feeling room, and not just because it was dark and it was a messy room, but just the whole feeling of the room. And I thought, I wonder if the people who stayed in there knew what that room had the history of or not. Probably not. I don't know. And the outside door, some tourist who didn't care about history, and I don't like when people destroy things like this. Somebody had pried the original room numbers off the door, and they had jerry-rigged some other ones on there. But somebody took it for to a souvenir, which is really sad, because you know, you're destroying something historical. But people do that, and they don't think. You know, I'm all like, somebody takes a bar glass or an ashtray or something that, you know, cost the business 40 cents or whatever, or a handful of matches or pins or whatever. I don't care. I mean, like that's not going to overall cost the business a lot of money, or it's not going to hurt the aesthetic of their business, or maybe irritate. Who took all the matches? We had a whole bunch, or whatever, you know. And not that that's right. I'm not condoning that. Not saying that I haven't done that, but back in my day. But that isn't detrimental to the business or the aesthetic of the history of the building. And when people destroy things like that, or break off things, or take pieces of things for a souvenir, you know, they're not thinking of what are you doing? What if everybody did that? I mean, you're going to wreck that monument, you're going to wreck that park, you're going to wreck that building. People just don't, it's too bad. That's the way people are. People just don't think, I don't think they think, you know, what am I doing? And oh, and maybe those people don't, and they don't even feel bad or remorseful for it, I guess. So we ended our last day just having a leisurely, lovely walk around the city and having some nice wine and cheese and having a nice little dinner in the hotel, and then we had a very relaxing evening just laying in our room and enjoying the city and enjoying the view that we had, the most beautiful view at night also. So it was a great all-around trip. I'm going to get my husband there because he's such a, we took the Weird Chicago Haunted Tour, which I'm totally into. And my cousin Chrissy was all for it. She doesn't care. Yeah, that sounds good. We'll do it. But my husband, I know, really is into like mobster history and Al Capone. And Al Capone stayed many a nights in the Congress Hotel, I guess, which was interesting. And the ballroom, I know I'm kind of pedaling back. I'm just kind of, things are flipping in my head. The ballroom, one of the ballrooms where the Haunted Halloween Ball was their gold ballroom, and it was gorgeous. Gorgeous. It was lit up. It was kind of spooky in there with all the lights on all the beautiful, and when it was light out, we went back up there. It was kind of messy after the party, and I got a bunch of pictures. Hopefully we'd see something in there. But it was kind of freaky. We were up on the, must have been the 3rd floor or 4th floor, and there was all these doors on the interior that went nowhere. They didn't have doorknobs, they were doors. I'm like, what the heck is this all about? And I asked a maintenance guy, what is this? There's all these doors on the inside hall that don't go anywhere, that you can't get into. He goes, well, those are access to the ballroom. He goes, some of the doors, depending on what level you're on, go to the balconies, and some of them on the next floor go up to the upper part of the beautiful top of the ballroom for maintenance. Something I'm like, oh, I was thinking something sinister and spooky, and here it was just for balconies and maintenance and stuff of the ballroom. I suppose that makes sense. The ballroom's 3 stories high. You have to be able to access, I don't know. I was making stuff up in my head though, but you know. And then if you look down the old hallways and like some of the service hallways and stuff, it was kind of freaky, scary, man. It was neat, but we had fun. It was the best time. It was the best time to go between the Cubs, it being Halloween weekend, taking the Haunted Halloween Tour. It was just like the perfect long weekend. We were there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, came back Monday. So it's just the amount of time to go see all the things. When me and my husband go down, we'll probably go down Thursday through Sunday. That last day, you know, we kind of didn't really do much. Just the relaxation was nice, I guess. But totally will get my husband back there. But our next planned trip, I have no PTO. I am like in the hole of PTO. I'm so used to having 6 weeks banked because I was always kind of a PTO hoarder. I have nothing. So I will be making use of every weekend that I have during the spring, summer, and fall. We're into November now, so I'm really kind of laying low and doing nothing. And don't have anything going on really at all. On Thanksgiving, I'm lucky I'm off because I'm still doing training, and my job is going very well. Thank you. I am loving it. Everything's starting to click in my head. I'm in chemistry now and everything. And I thought, oh, chemistry. And I'm not a mathematical person per se. And it's all kind of coming together and clicking. I'm more of a hands-on. And once I've done it and feel it and do it, oh, I get it and I understand. And after you've done something or jammed the machine up twice or pushed a button you shouldn't and it shuts it, oh, then you remember that stuff after. It's just like, I said, I'll probably, and they said, yeah, that's kind of normal. Everybody does this or that a couple times. Sorry, my cup's all smoky. I got lipstick on, but I got the balm. It's a gloss and it's a beautiful orange and I love it. But you know, glosses don't stay on, so they're good to wear, but not wearable when you want to drink coffee or eat or talk or anything else, right? And I got to wear all my, and I did post them on my Facebook page. I should put on my Instagram too, because some people don't do the other one. I try to do a 1920s themed outfit every day, and I did. The Halloween ball day, I just wore my Halloween skirt and stuff out, which you guys have seen. And the rest of the days I did 1920s themed or 1920s. Some of it was 40s. My first dress was a 40s inspired, but 20s inspired with the kick pleat and the long sweaters and the appropriate beret or hat, and that was fun. And then we dressed 1920s, and I did the long elegant ball gown. Chris did a really cute elegant flapper dress, and we did see lots of flappers, and I suppose they were thinking roaring 20s Chicago just like we were, so we saw a lot of that. Some really eye-popping costumes, and some's like, oh, they hardly have anything on too. So, but I did get lots and lots of pictures. I'm such a picture snapper, and I'm like, oh, I don't think I got hardly any pictures. And then the next day when you look through them, I'm like, oh, I guess I did. Was snapping away. So great time. So that's all that's going on. We're off and running for the month of November, getting ready for Thanksgiving right around the corner. And I still have one Vampira that still has not got back to me about her, and I messaged her. I gotta see if I can somehow message her another way, because I still have her fall makeup giveaway stuff sitting over there. I really want to get it out to her. You know, I don't stick it on the cupboard, then I'll forget about it. So I have it just sitting out here. So Vampira, if you're, is it Vampira? V-A-M-P-I-R-A? I think so. Get a hold of me. I've got your gift. I want to get it out while it's still fall, so you could before you know it, it'll be like wintertime stuff, right? And I'm sure all of you know this last weekend, the weekend after Halloween, is the big clearance time. So, and I tried to whittle it down and only get, what I did, and I did this last year, is I will buy for my Halloween giveaway. I bought all my Halloween giveaway stuff. So I try to have to think of a year in advance of what I want to do and kind of want to get, because I like to have the giveaways, but you know, you want to be thrifty too. So Target had 70 and 90% off on all of their Halloween stuff. So I got all my little Halloween giveaway stuff for you guys for next year, which I will get out sooner than I did this year, because I was kind of behind the times with everything. I just kind of jam-packed, sent it out. But I guess even my lovely viewer who lives in the UK got hers in time for Halloween, which I was really happy about. So that's all that's going on. That's enough. I've had enough going on. It's just quiet, smooth sailing from here out. The big get together with my family this month, and I do have to work. I'm always used to having the day after off, because we usually are playing cards and cocktailing late into the hours. It will be a quiet year, and everyone will be told I'm going to bed early. So are you, because I need my sleep. I find that I go to bed much earlier than I used to, and I sleep much harder. And it's a good sleep, and I do enjoy that quite a bit. And I cut my coffee off earlier, because I want to be nice and fresh and wide-eyed and bushy-tailed for my new job. So that's it. That's all I got planned for the month of November. Absolutely nothing else except cleaning and organizing, purging. That is the angst of my life every single day. I always try to, I'm sure everybody too, if you're somebody like me who, I guess maybe I am a little bit of a hoarder. Not to the point where I need to be on a TV show, but I got stuff all over the place. And it's mostly in my vintage bedroom, and it's clothes. And I'll get it all organized, and then I'll be looking for something, and then it's like, tear it all over. It's like high school girls, right? That's like, I guess maybe I'm still in that mode when it comes to clothes. If I'm getting something, I'll get it all out, get a huge pile. And if I was nice and neat and organized, I'd hang it right back up. And I just throw it in a big pile. And that's why I have 2 piles in this room. I guess that isn't too bad. I guess that would be a mini hoarder. 2 piles would be a mini micro hoarder, right? So anyway, that's all that's going on, is just life and living life. And I finally got a little comfort in my new job, which I'm really happy at. And I'm trying to get a little get together, because we never had any type of like send off or going away thing when I left my job, just for the fact that there's so much going on, and I want to be able to have the girls that I was very close with at work get together when it was good for them. One was getting married, one was busy doing something else, one had gone to a new job. So I'll just get together with a few of the gals that I worked with and kind of catch up and what's going on with me and what's going on with you guys. And I know one girl, you know, had started her new job, and one might be looking, and catch up with their lives and what they're doing and stuff. That will be really nice, because it's been, geez, time to get there. It would be a month and a half. It has gone by fast. But that's just one thing. When you really enjoy something in your life, it does. Time flies by, and it goes by fast, and your work day goes by so much faster when you're absolutely loving what you're doing. I mean, I loved what I did at my old job, and I loved everybody I worked with, but when you get that passion back for something, your day just zips by like that, and your week's gone before you know it. which is great. It's a great feeling to have that. I have that enthusiasm back that I guess I probably have lost a few years back, and I think you just become stagnant sometimes. So I'm just absolutely loving what I'm doing and all the new things that I'm learning and the things that are coming back that I haven't used for years. And it's nice to have that you're totally revitalized in your job, which is a wonderful feeling. And you want to be completely fulfilled, in your home life. You want to be fulfilled in your job also.